Good morning. Wow, that's a widescreen. Damn. It should be fine though, right? Yeah, let's see. Let's just go here before I faff about too much. And let's start our new time entry on the Abilities and Passives tab. And let me just get my Unity up. Okay. My voice is having a tough time of it. We'll see how this goes, but yeah. Okay. I think I seem to remember that we were mostly satisfied with the night passive, right? I can't really remember if there was anything else that needed doing. We noticed a couple of other things, yeah, like well, we did the sound thing, so I guess this is fine. Arrow should rotate, that's okay. That's gonna be a problem for a while. Okay. So, what I kind of think I want to do still is essentially, okay, I want to finish the passive thing. So all characters need a passive. And then I want to I think I want to change the active abilities of some of the characters. Like, I think there are clear winners and losers when it comes to the active abilities currently. Like, I think the Ranger has a very good one. And the Duck has an acceptable one. It might not be perfect, but it's pretty good as well. The Knight... no, and the same with the Owl. They feel a bit clunky, so I think I'm going to change those. But first, let's do some more passive abilities, right? So, who's next? Ninja or Ranger? So I kind of have an idea for the Ranger, at least. I have no idea what I would like to do for the Ninja yet, so you can open up the Ranger. Okay, let's just close this stuff. So we're going to do a similar thing with the Ranger where we have a status effect and a buff maybe. Okay, so here's my idea with the Ranger, right? Currently, I'm not too well, I'm not too excited about the Ranger and Duck in general in terms of passive ability. But what I was thinking is maybe something like an attack speed buff of some sorts. So the Knight obviously... So I feel like these buffs should do two things generally. Well, they shouldn't do two things. But there would be two different kinds of buffs, rather. So the one kind of buff... not buff. The one kind of passive effect would be what the Owl does currently. Right, he affects the area by bombarding it with whatever those other things are, meteors, right? The knight obviously affects your character by giving them a size increase along with a area damage effect, and then obviously they get a damage buff and a damage buff and armor enhancement relative to their size increase, right? Okay. Okay, so you have two types. You have things that affect the area, the map, abilities or something, and then you have things that affect your character. And in the what I was thinking a couple of weeks ago is maybe to add a sort of a mobility ability, like a dash or something, to all my characters. And my idea with that was that if everybody has mobility options, then we can also have the mobility be augmented by a passive effect, right? So that every character has some basic things, right? Every character can move, or every character can attack, so those things can be enhanced in some way or in some special way. Or after you've done your dash, you've used your little dash thing, then for a short time you get an additional bonus of some sorts because of the passive effect of another character. So that was kind of where I was going. But I feel like I might be overdoing it a little bit. I might be adding in additional complexity for the player, which is not necessarily what I want this game to become. Right? I don't want to make an action roguelike. Right? I want to make a survivor roguelike. And in my opinion, a survivor roguelike gives you much less to do, because you have to think about your movement a little bit more. Right, so the two gold standards currently are obviously Vampire Survivors and, in my opinion, Rotato. Okay? So if I think about them, I see, well, something is very clear. Those two games emphasize your movement. In Rotato, the guns or the sticks or whatever you have, they do what they're going to do, right? They will target and hit something. You just have to move in a clever way, keep your potato alive, but not running into certain, by knowing which types of enemies you can run into and which type of enemies you need to avoid, or avoiding projectiles or whatever. And Vampire Survivors does the same thing. And obviously, as you get stronger, you can run into some enemies that you wouldn't otherwise be able to run into, etc. So I don't want to stray too far from that. I want to have the player to have a similar feeling, a similar experience where they are running around. They do have to aim, so I do give them additional control that you don't have in those two games, right? And that's okay, and I want to keep it like that. Yeah. So you have that additional control, and you have one activatable ability. So I've already added. So it went from you only move to you only move. Then you have to move and aim. And now it's you have to move, aim, and use your special ability in a clever manner. You know, to help you clear the waves. So I've already added 3 things that you have to think about. Now, if I, on top of that, also put in something like a dash or a dodge or some kind of a dash ability, then that's a 4th thing that you have to think about. And that's still not a lot if you had to think about this as an action roguelike or an action RPG. But if you had to think about it in terms of a survivor's game, it feels like I might be overdoing it slightly. So I think I'm gonna keep it small. I'm not gonna add the dash ability. And I have to work around those constraints and be creative with the passive effects to accommodate for that. I think that's actually a good idea. If I think about it now, and honestly think about it, I wanted to add the abilities because I was having trouble thinking of a way to implement the passives. But if I think about it, maybe the constraint of not having, you know, a bunch of extra abilities to augment will allow me to come up with very creative solutions with the, you know, with what I have. So constraints aren't necessarily bad. They might actually lead to something interesting at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with that. Okay, so that with all that being said, what type of ability does the ranger have? So the ranger is gonna have a attack enhancing ability. So the attack enhancement is gonna be a attack speed enhancement. So it's like it's also like it's support magic. It's a buff type of thing. It's a speed magic or whatever you want to think about, however you want to think about it. I think that's going to be impactful enough on its own. The problem with the chicken with the reinforcement magic was, how do you visualize that you've gained armor? It's a little bit difficult. Or health. It's like, my bar went up. Right? So what the gigantification did for us is it gave us a very clear visual that you are now different, right? You are more powerful in a way. It augments your attacks, so you became much more powerful as a character. And I think the speed magic, or whatever you want to call it, from the Robin is going to make you more powerful, but it's going to be super obvious if your attack interval becomes very small, right? If you can attack super quickly, I feel like you're going to have an idea that something has changed, right? And obviously I can make you glow and all those good things, but just being able to attack more frequently is going to make a big difference, I feel like. And then while we do this, we can think about what the hell the duck has to do, because I have no idea what the hell the duck is going to do. Yeah, honestly, I have no idea what the duck is supposed to do. So, the ninja, I might have to take inspiration from Naruto or something, where we have wizard ninjas, or yeah, wizards with knives instead of a ninja. So I need to think about the ninja archetype a little differently. So, but we'll see. Or maybe we can brainstorm, you know, well, steal from some other media or something, right? There's always a place where we can that we can go figure this stuff out with. Okay, so let's go. We want create an empty. And this is going to be the Ranger status effect. Right, and I guess we could have the MMF player for this as well. It does help out. Especially if you want particles and things to play in a certain sequence. But I'm not going to add it until I need it, right? Okay, here we have our Knight passive effect. Where's the script stored? Knight character, yeah, okay. So let's go to Ranger character. Let's create a mono behavior script. Ranger passive effect. I could probably close most of this stuff, yeah. Yeah, and I like doing this every once in a while, just closing all my tabs, opening them up from scratch. So we have this Ranger passive effect, that's what we're going to work with. And I think we can do character buff, definitely. Character status effect, we can do that one as well. Okay, so that might be the first few that we do. There's also an attack, not indicator, but trigger that I think we should have a look at. Because if we're going to affect the attacks... Let's see, this might be in player. Yeah. Okay. So let's open all of those. Okay. So this is going to be our Ranger passive effect. Oh, and we need the Ranger passive ability one as well, right? The passive effect lives there, but then we also need an ability. Ranger ability. Okay, and if we go to characters, Ranger. Okay, so the ability is casted by the Ranger, and the passive effect obviously is what is experienced by the character. Okay. There's something else. Where the hell did I put this? Did I put this in the player? Yeah, passive effect manager. Okay, so we have a couple of ways we can now go about this, right? We have, we can kind of do what the Knight does. Where the Knight, okay, so the Wizard is very straightforward. It just goes through a loop and it's like, yo, here's a wizard, throw a fireball, right? Oh, we found another wizard, throw another fireball. And that's it, right? Very straightforward. The Knight goes and it finds all the knights, adds together all of the passive strength and duration, sets the cast Boolean to true, and then it casts the effect. Yeah, apparently, yeah, we don't actually use the speed anymore. Okay, but yeah, it casts the effect, gives you damage and armor, and applies the passive. Apply the knight passive effect, which takes us over here, where we do a bunch of stuff, right? Like play a sound effect and all those good things. And that's the knight passive effect, right? So, and then the knight passive effect obviously deals damage over time around you. Okay. And there's still a bunch of code here that we can probably just get rid of, but yeah. Okay, but the knight passive effect, generally speaking, is it's a little bit more complicated, but it's okay. So we can ask ourselves, okay, how should the ranger work? We could make the ranger work in the same way as the knight, where you get these bursts of power. Right, so you get a burst of power. Or we could make it work in a way that, let's see, maybe gives you attack speed bonuses. All the time? I don't know if that's a good idea. I think we need to do the burst of power thing, like the knight does, essentially. I feel like this works well. It's like every once in a while, and we could change the frequency or whatever if we like. But every once in a while, you get a massive burst of power. So you kind of have to plan and anticipate the potential burst of power while playing the game, right? I think I'm going to do it that way. So, with that being said, now we should ask ourselves... actually, we don't need to ask ourselves anything. It's going to be exactly the same as the knight. We're going to do the same thing. So, we're going to start with a private I enumerable, or enumerator. And it's going to be the ranger passive. Right, and we'll start off with a while loop, just while true. Okay. And I think I'm gonna do the same thing where I yield return wait. Let's see, wait for seconds. I want to be careful here. So, I don't know if I want them to be synced up necessarily. Okay, so there's a couple of things, right? When I was doing the knight... maybe we can do this. So when I was doing the knight, I had this problem with the scaling effect, right? It kind of looked like shit. Right, and the reason was just how the scaling worked, right? And how adding or scaling on top of a scale and all this kind of stuff made it wonky, right? It didn't look good. It wasn't smooth. It's a lot of chopping and stuff. But I feel like with the ranger, perhaps we can do stacks again. We can go back to the status effect stacks, which I feel like would kind of be cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go back to the stacking idea. So the casting happens more frequently, but the cast duration is relatively short, and each ranger you have would cast a buff and a status effect on your character. That'll eventually, well, that would obviously it'll go up and you'll get stronger, and then it might fizzle out over time, right? Based on this, well, yeah, exactly based on this, right? I think I like that idea. Yeah. And then what we can do is we can make it so that the rates of stacking could be changed. So we could really do it similarly to what the because we're not trying to scale the character, we could do it in a similar way that we do the passive for the wizard, for instance, right? So if you look at the wizard passive ability, we have this over here where we spawn a meteor, right? So we check, we obviously update the passive with some amount of time passed, and then we can increment it, and we can have your passive strength reduce the amount of time you wait between casts, and we can even have it increase the duration of the effect, etc. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. We might need to think of some visual way to show. Okay, so we can do it that way. So then, in effect, what could happen is, well, there could be a couple of things that happen, right? So I want to keep it different because I think it's cool when it's a little bit different. But so what could happen is, so let's say you have your timeline. So this is your this is the length of your level. So if you think about it, we could have a cast. Now you have your attack speed is high. We can then have another cast, and then the first one wears off. So the first one wears off, and you kind of have another cast at the same time. So let's think about this. A very straightforward way would be you cast once, you wait some amount of time, and it wears off. Right, increasing your string, your passive string, would make it so that the cast is maybe stronger and it lasts a little bit longer. And it shortens your cast intervals. Increasing your strength even more would increase the strength, increases the cast duration. And okay, so I need to be careful here. What I don't want this to do at the end of the day is I don't want it to feel like you are permanently empowered. So let's just say you have one ranger that casts their ability at this kind of cadence throughout the level. So you get your little buffs. And then you have a second ranger that starts off casting a slightly stronger version. But this ranger actually has a shorter cooldown as well, with a longer duration. So what ends up happening is something like this, where it kind of gets a little bit offset. And then if you have a third ranger casting and it's even greater strength and shorter cooldown, I'm just thinking, well, this is gonna look like or feel like. So in a sense, if you look at this, there will be very little time where you don't have any kind of a buff on you. Another way we can approach this, and this is kind of how we started with this for the chicken, but it looked shit, is you could do this where you have all three casts together, and then you have a fall off, and a fall off, right, based on the different strengths and durations. Then you have all three casting together again, and then you have a fall off and a fall off. That's kind of what we tried to do with the chicken, but it ended up not working very well. Because this fall off was very didn't look very good. Right, we won't have that problem with the Ranger, so the question is, do we want to do it like this now? Or do we want to go back to, say, adding all of them together and just doing big spikes like we do, and then each stack kind of increases the duration and the length of the total cast. I feel like the status effect stacks I mean, it could also do a third thing, which is kind of like this, which I feel like it's kind of weird. I feel like you as the player wouldn't know how to interact with this. But I feel like the player understands this kind of thing happening, or this kind of thing happening very it's super obvious. Like, you get a massive power spike, and then it kind of drains. Right. And maybe it doesn't kind of drain, maybe it just does this, or it just has one step. So it'll depend on the amount of Rangers obviously buffing you, right? How it tails off. And what their relative strengths are. If they all have the same strength, then you will just experience this again. So making the duration not additive, right? What that helps with is you can make it so that the base duration of this buff is quite long, and then you don't add on top of that more duration, you just add more strength, and each stack still has their own duration, so to speak, but your maximum gets higher. Right, so this would basically be 3 stacks of a similar strength buff on top of one another. If we use this, and then as they get stronger, the stack might get higher, and the length might get higher. So you stack them like this now. Okay, but it means that you can make this duration quite long. Where if you stack them, if you add both the duration and the strength together, you kind of end up with this kind of thing. And you could have this as one buff, and then if you add 2 of them together, your duration is obviously going to double. And if you have a third one, your duration triples. Right, which kind of means that the durations for 1 should or needs to be, by necessity, quite low. Because they're gonna stack very heavily in the duration. I think I'm gonna try this kind of stack for the Ranger. And then it could do this as well. Yeah. So it's going to be similar to the Wizard passive then in that way. Well, okay, we need to be careful. Yeah, no, it's not going to be the same as the Wizard passive, no. So it's going to be more like the Knight passive in a way. So we'll wait, and then at the end we'll wait again. So there will be a fixed interval, right, for each of these casts. And, you know, we can make it like 15 seconds or whatever. Okay, so now it's going to be on the same interval as the Knight. I guess that's okay. That could happen, right? Hey, Brody, how's it going, man? Happy Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already, to be honest. Okay, so we can start off with making it the same interval as the Knight, and we can see how that goes, right? I'm doing well. My voice isn't doing so hot, but me personally, I can't complain. Okay, so the cast would be synchronized. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to synchronize the cast here. We don't need to do this thing. Yeah, we don't need to do that thing. Yes, well, we don't need to do anything. Well, we don't need to do exactly this. We do need to do this part. We have to go through our party members. At least. Right, so we have to go for loop, and we have to do this statement, or at least something like it, right? Okay, so we're going to try and get component Ranger passive ability. Ranger passive, right? And essentially we'll just cast the Ranger passive, right? So this just needs to do a timer, and then in our Ranger passive ability we just have how did I name these? Apply Knight passive effect, right? So it's just a public void apply Ranger passive effect. Not entirely. Well, I guess it kind of depends. Yeah, this is the actual passive effect itself. The ability, though, that's a little bit different. So if we look at the range, it's a spawner meteor. So we'll do a Ranger. What is this called? So what do we want to make this thing do? It should increase your attack speed, essentially. Let's just call it buff attack speed. For now. I never know what to name things, so that's kind of how it goes. Okay, but that's the first thing that we have to do. We need to do a few other things. Let me just see. I guess... Yeah, well, we'll have to get the character data in here, right? Yeah. I think so. So we'll need the character data at least. And the first thing we should ask when this is called is if the character data dot current room is equal to the observation deck. We can do something about it, right? It's very important that when we buff attack speed, so when we cast our passive ability, our buff to the attack speed, we can only do so if we are actually in the observation deck. Right. I think so. Okay, so since this is a character... So we basically need the character buff, because we want to add a buff to the character, right? So that's one thing that the ranger does. So we should think about this in terms of... how exactly do we want the buff to be applied? Well, I think... For now, I'm just going to do it a very straightforward way. So I'm just going to grab character buff. And I'm going to do what I've set up. So character buff dot apply buff. Right. And the stat is going to be the attack speed. And we need a strength and a duration. Okay. So the strength and duration. So, okay. If we think about this, yeah, obviously we calculated the strength and duration like this with the knight. Okay, this is just the application. The knight was actually a super complicated one in the end. I guess this is how it goes, right? You start off with a super straightforward idea, and then it just kind of balloons. Okay. Yeah, so we had a cast timer, a base strength, and a base duration. So let's just grab those, because we'll want a similar thing for the ranger passive ability, right? So we want base strength, base duration. I don't remember why. I think it was because... Okay, yeah, it's because it goes up with the... let's see, base strength. Okay. So float strength. Float duration. So it'd be something like this, right? Whatever our base strength is, multiplied by 1 plus our character passive strength times that's just to make it a percentage. And then our duration, we would do a math.clamp base duration 1 plus strength. Now in this case, I don't want to clamp it between 1 and 6, I don't think. I want to clamp it between 1 and... So there's 20 seconds between... So I think I want to clamp it like 16 seconds. So if you ever get to... I never want there to be 0 downtime between these. But if you have... Since I don't stack duration for the Ranger... since I don't stack duration, I want this to be... Yeah, I want this to potentially be quite long. Okay, and we just pass in strength here now, and duration. Okay, and that is essentially what we do. So we just calculate it, and then we apply the buff. Now... the status effect itself, we'll have to think about that. Yeah, also applying an attack speed. Could this break anything? I think just applying attack speed already applies... Yeah, so we can check quickly. So every time we apply a buff, yeah, it does call apply character stats when the buff is applied and when it gets removed. So the buff code is pretty good. I don't have to worry about the buff code too much. Okay, we can think about the base strength. So the base strength 10%. We'll obviously tweak this, I guess, but 10% for attack speed buff multiplied by whatever your character has as a bonus. So let's do a ridiculous example. Let's say, okay, you have your base strength. That's okay. And then you also get... let's say 500% passive strength, right? So it'll be base strength 0.1 multiplied by 1 plus 5, right? So it's multiplied by 6. So it's a 60% increase in attack speed with quite a ridiculous number. Let's get a calculator out here. Okay, so that's a 60%... yeah, it's times 6, so it's 0.6 then. And then our base duration is multiplied by 1 times your strength. Okay. So our base duration is 5 seconds multiplied by 1.6. Gives you 8. That seems pretty bad. Let's work it backwards from 16 seconds. And let's see what kind of number we need for our... I think a 5-second base duration is okay. Let's make it 4 seconds. And we can work with nicer numbers. Okay, so we're going to go 16 minus 4. No. What am I doing? 16 over 4, right? Yeah. So we need a multiplier of 4 times. So that means our strength needs to be 3. Okay, for our strength to be 3 with a, let's say 900% passive strength, right? So then that becomes 10 if we want to get there. So divided by 10, that'll give us that at 900%. So our base strength needs to be 0.4. So we need a 40% base strength. Okay, so what this means, and then for 900% passive strength, so then we can do 0.4 times 10 would give you a strength of 4. And then it's 4 times 5. Oh, wait. I forgot to subtract 1 or something here. So then it's going to be base duration, which is 4 times our 5, which gives me... Okay, so wait, I got it too hectic here. So what if our base strength is 30%? So let's see what that means. So then it's 0.3 times 10. That gives you, obviously, 3. So then our duration is 4 times 4, which gives you 16. Okay. So 3... Okay, so let's go and see what this actually does, right? So our base strength with a... That is a ridiculous buff, right? That's a massive buff to attack speed. Our attack speed currently is capped at 200%, if I'm not mistaken. So just applying the buff in this way, I think is gonna cap out my strength. So if we apply the buff, so we get a number in here. Okay, I'm a little bit annoyed with something now. Okay, apply character stats will be called. And if I remember correctly, I have a difference now in how my character stats work. Because an attack speed buff... So obviously, let's just assume we have the ridiculous one, right, with the strength of 4. So the strength comes through, it is equal to 4. Now if we get the buff amount, which we do in our character stat manager script, right, so right here we get the buff amount. So let's just see how that works. So it'll get a base stat of 10. Let's say, okay, the character upgrade data. This number, if you use get upgrade character data with a attack speed name, it'll be a number like 20. You have 20%. And then the item might give you another 15%. And then we just add yeah, that's kind of dumb. And then we just add like 5 or 4. Yeah, because the debuff amount, the buff amount is going to be a number like a 5. Ugh. Okay, that's annoying. That's because of the way I did my attack speed stuff. Yeah, get stat total with attack speed. Yeah, and that number would be a number like 50% attack speed. And if you go to our attack trigger and we update the attack speed, you can see attack speed is equal to new attack speed. And what we actually do here with our attack speed is we multiply it by 0.01 again to get it back down to a number that's sensible. Okay, so essentially we need to have this thing. Yeah, we need to make it so that it is a a big number, right? So our Ranger passive ability, the strength, would have to be multiplied by 100 for it to mean anything. So when we send the strength through, when we apply the buff, we need to make it a percentage so multiplied by 100. And then everything else should be okay because they use percentages throughout in the rest of the game, in the rest of the places. Right. So I think that'll work. Now I am curious to actually check the attack trigger code and understand how this attack speed is going to work for us, right? So our attack speed, let's say it's 500%, right? Let's just assume we got a ridiculously high 500% attack speed. So let's go in here and see. Okay, if our attack speed is less than 0, so that means something reduced our attack speed. We do this stuff, but that's not what we're going to do. So we're going to come here, and we're going to see our attack timer is greater than our attack cooldown maximum. Just want to see, where is attack speed getting used? It's only getting used right here. So this is where everything had happened, right? Okay. Yeah, so we reset our cooldown for our attack here. Okay, so let's see what it does. So it takes our... If our attack timer, so that's just literally a timer that runs up, is greater than this quantity. So this is now 500%. So we can take our maximum cooldown, we divide it by 1 plus 500%, or 1 plus 5, so divided by 6. So whatever our cooldown was, it's divided by 6, and that is now our new trigger. Okay. I see what I did here. So the attack timer isn't capped. So that number, or this cooldown, can definitely go faster. So then the attack on cooldown would be equal to false. Run cooldown timer is equal to false. And the attack timer sets to 0. Okay. And we break out of this, so we don't do this anymore, because all of this is false. Start cooldown timer is true only after... Okay, yes, that's true. So this is only set to true after the animation finishes. Okay, so we're still going to be limited by the speed of the attack animation, which I guess is, you know, whatever. It makes it more consistent. Okay. So the attack speed will definitely have a massive impact on this. Now the only problem is the attack cooldown maximum is not a very big number. Like it's about 1 second for the Robin, for instance. Hey, this guy. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? How are you? Yeah, so it's only 1 second, so it's going to become 160 milliseconds between attacks, right? So the Robin is going to attack very quickly, and, you know, even like the chicken is going to be like attacking super quickly. The problem is going to become our animation. So we're going to be limited by our attack animations at some point. Friday. Yeah, you're already in the weekend, eh? Done working for the day. Okay, let's just play with this and see how it works or how it looks. if we're happy with the effect or if we think we can make it better. So we go to the effect manager now. So now we can just do Ranger passive dot, what did I call it? Buff attack speed, right? Okay. So if we get a character that is in fact a ranger, we can say, okay, buff the attack speed. And buffing the attack speed will only work if they are actually in the correct room. And then we'll just apply a buff with a strength and duration. And then we kind of wait. So then and this would be synchronized, so there might be a couple of frames off, but they should be relatively synchronized. Yeah, it's amazing how much more straightforward this version is, because it feels like this was way more frantic with the knight, but I was still figuring stuff out with the knight, I guess. Okay, so technically this will buff the attack speed. Now, we won't get a cool effect or anything like that showing that this happened, but let's just see if it happens, right? And then we'll go from there. Anything else? Okay, well, obviously I need to go attach these to the different things. The status effect itself doesn't actually make a difference right now. Don't have to add that. Yeah, so we just need to make sure that the passive ability is on the ranger. Okay. And we also need to recompile hot reload. Just so I can actually drag in stuff here. Okay, the duration and strength, that's fine. 4 and 0.3. Okay. Character data right there. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, wait, I did an oopsie. Yeah, the character buff, we don't get it like that. Yeah, we need to buff the actual selected character, right? Yeah, so character buff is not going to work like this at all. So we want to do player manager dot instance dot selected character get selected character dot get component of type. Did I really do all this stuff with this? Huh, I guess so. So let's just do this instead, I think. Okay, we just grab the character buff and then we apply the buff. That should be fine. no issue. Yeah, this is okay. It's not a big deal. Okay, so that should fix up the character buff part. And the ranger passive ability is there, so I think that's pretty much it. That's all we needed. Never mind. Okay, now all we need to make sure of is our team that has a ranger on it. Okay, we just have the standard team. One of each. That's perfect. Let's go into dev mode. That's good. Let's give it a go. Okay. Let's just grab the owl, I guess. Switch on the ranger passive. And I'm gonna just make the ranger strength something ridiculous. Let's make it a 3. Okay, so in 5 seconds, we should be getting the buff. Doesn't seem like I'm getting the buff, to be honest. Okay, let's get a couple of debugs in here. Okay, so we apply the buff to the selected character. Okay, so, and it's the attack speed. So we apply buff and we did apply character stats. When we apply character stats, the stat manager attack speed will... So we do apply attack speed on the stat manager side. Let's just see what that does. So that takes our character attack trigger, update attack speed, and update attack speed on both of them, right? So as soon as update attack speed is called, this update is changed. Huh, okay, that's interesting. Interesting that it doesn't really do anything. Okay, let's just do a debug. I'm just gonna do a debug.log here, and let's just put in our new attack speed. Right, so this is in the attack trigger at least. We'll see if it changes anything there. Okay, I don't think I need to change anything. Just need to play and make sure the ranger's passive is active. Okay, it doesn't seem like it applied. Oh, man. Yes. I never... The passive effect manager, I never actually start the go routine. Yeah, so let's just do this. Okay, but we'll just change it. No. Yeah, we'll just add a Robin. No. Ranger passive routine, right? And then over here we just go Ranger passive routine, Ranger passive. And then here we do Ranger passive, right? If we do the same things there, it should work out. Okay, so now this thing should actually start up like the other ones do. Let's give it a go. Okay, we can grab the duck, switch on the Robin, click play. So we should, okay, we should be able to see, yeah, 450. Damn! Okay, so our speed got reduced back down. That's fine. Let's grab the owl. I wanna see how quick this can get, right? I'm just gonna stand here with the owl. Okay, it obviously lasts quite long. Because I made it ridiculously powerful at this moment. He's very consistent. mean, it works. Okay, so here's the next thing that we need to check out. What if, right? What if we had a chicken and a ranger inside of our... That was a bit crazy, that one. Okay, so the attack speed buff lasts way longer. Let's see if they are... Damn! Yeah, we can get some ridiculously powerful combos here. Okay. Okay, so we just need to... We need to give it some kind of an effect, right? So it looks like something. Now... okay, this is kind of where it gets a bit awkward. I need to think about this. So if I want it to look like something... Okay, so this is... I don't think it's going to be that difficult, to be honest, but... What we'll need... I think I'm going to get an MMF player so I can have, like, particles for the effect starting to play with some audio. And then we can do... the actual particle effect, maybe, that we want to have on the player. Right, so we can just make a short little sequence like that. Doesn't have to be that complicated, this one. Yeah, let's just get a straightforward one. So we're gonna do some... some basic audio. I'm thinking about this and wondering if it's not just better to use my... Instead of using an audio source, so that the thing with this is... getting the volume... It's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's leave it there for now. Okay, then we want a particle system, right? Is it a renderer? Flicker, fog, light renderer. Particles. Okay, we just want particles play, for instance, and then we want a pause. Just a holding pause to make sure those two things happen first. And then we want to do basically another particles play. Essentially. Okay, now the actual particles, we don't have them yet, so we can create an empty here, I guess. And we'll call this the, I don't know. Yeah, let's just call it the glow effect. Also, okay, we'll I kind of want to use something to base this off when I build the effect. So let's grab our chicken here, and then we can do ranger status effect, go to glow effect, add a particle system. Right, and I think I'm gonna try and make my own. Let's play with our own thing, right? We can use this all-in-one VFX toolkit thing. We can add the particle helper, and let's move it up. Right, and well, the kind of the reason I want to use this is because I think it's interesting. I want to see. Don't know if that is what I wanted to do. Ah, okay, that adds the material as well. Okay, cool. So we're just going to close that one for now. And now we have a particle system with a material that we can play with. There's so much stuff I actually don't know how to do, so this might not go great, but let's see how it goes anyway. So, when you get an upgrade or an up, a little bit of a buff to your attack speed, one of the things we might want to consider is to make it a greenish effect, at least, as a start. The only reason I think green is because I think Ranger, and the Ranger is mostly green. However, maybe a golden yellow is a better idea. Now I'm thinking Super Saiyan. Okay, we'll see how that goes. We'll probably change it anyway. Okay, but that's the general idea. Now, we don't necessarily want them to go forward. We might want them to go up. Alright, and maybe we want to start them somewhere there. Okay, so what do we want this thing to do? The fundamental thing, I don't think I want... Maybe it could have particles coming off it, like this. So we can go with that. We can do the particles like this. Mission options, I'm not too worried about. Shape options. So this is a cone. I think I'm gonna keep the cone for this one. Okay. Okay, over lifetime options. Okay, I think we have to do descending alpha over lifetime. Yeah, and maybe also... Ooh, actually, what would ascending over lifetime particles look like? That's interesting. Okay, I think we have to change the particle amount also. Like 5, maybe. I don't want this to be some ridiculous amount of particles. We'll see how this looks. Hey! We finally got it. That's good, man. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a good system going for that thing. UI toolkit is a toughie, eh? Okay, yeah. So you still use your root containers. But it's just a better way. It's a better way of doing it. I doing? Why is only one of the values changing? Oh, it's because I have the other one selected. Yeah, you're spending a lot of time building systems over there. Yes, you, this guy. It seems like, well, I guess you're really into the make a tool to make the actual development cycle quicker. Hey, it's probably not a bad idea, but yeah. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea, hey. I think you might have the good a good a good idea there, but yeah. Okay, let's tweak this material. Okay, so we can get a shape, texture. Scalability is one of those things that it feels very daunting. I don't know why. I'm super intimidated by just the idea of having things that are scalable. Like every time I think about making something scalable or something like that, I get super fixated. I think I fall into analysis paralysis every single time. Like every time I build a new thing and I have to think about scalability, I think I just kind of clutch out. I think I waste a lot of time just thinking about it, and never actually getting it done. And that's why every time I have a problem that could have been more scalable, at some point I just kind of say, you know what, I'm just going to make it work. And, leave all that perfect code practice scalability stuff for the more experienced developers. Yeah, because the paralysis hits me hard. I kind of like this particle. Right, it might look a little bit shit. You'd be like, yeah, what the hell's this guy doing? This looks terrible. But I'm getting there. You'll see. Glow color. Ooh. I wonder what this does. Let's see. Ah. Wow. Ooh, can we do a texture for the glow? Oh, wow. Look at this. I'm gonna build such cool things. Ugh, I have too many textures. This is so annoying. Like, there's probably a nice texture in here somewhere. Between all the crosshairs. It's not a corsair. I wonder how the glow could work. Like if I used, let's say I use this texture as my glow texture. Oh, that's weird. Okay, that's a bit strange. Ah, a rim color. Okay, let's pause this. I'm just fooling around a little bit. I don't really know what I'm doing right now. Yo, Mr. Human Limits. How's it going, man? Ah, I see, okay. Don't need that, it's fine. Posterize, back face tint, fake light and shadow shape. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna leave that one there. So that's the starting effect for the glow. Let's see. Add a child copy. Okay, cool. So now we have glow effect _1. Right. And this one. Oh, wait a minute. I need to be careful now. Okay, yeah, we do new clean material. Are you good? That's nice. Okay, so this one. Okay, let's see. What can we do here? So I think, first of all, the shape option. I don't think I want a shape. Yeah, so now they're just going up, and then I kind of don't want them to have speed. So now they kind of just sit there. Okay, what if we have one particle? I don't know if I'm doing this correctly, but let's see something here. Okay, we don't want... Okay, you just kind of get a particle and it sits there. Okay, that's interesting. So I'm gonna do 1.2. Okay, well, don't worry, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Let's do 2 particles at any point in time. This looks shit, I know. Keep your... It's gonna look amazing in a minute. Give me time to cook here. You're gonna see. I am such a cook right now. So this is what you do. You go to fire, right, and you find this thing, whatever that is, right? I think so. Ooh. I could do so many cool things now that I think about it. You'll see now. Okay, wait. Additive. Okay, now I can't see it. So we kind of need to make it bigger. Okay, so we'll just drag up the size. Do something like that. Maybe we even move it up a little bit. Okay, what does random rotation do? No! That's bad. Okay. Now, if we had, let's say 5 particles. Okay, we'll get there now. Now that I can at least see it, I can do some other things. So let's see, soft add. Transparent, that's terrible. Pre-add, that's kind of bad. What the? Okay, what exactly did I just break here? Okay, it figured it out again. It figured it out. Oh, it's kind of the billboard. Okay, I see. When I change my perspective, the billboard kind of loses its shit a little bit. Yeah. I see. This is kind of weird. Wow. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'm doing some weird stuff now. But I'm just learning something. Okay, it's fine. Facing. Okay. Velocity. That makes no sense. So if you set it local. This is such a weird thing that I'm doing right now. What the hell? Okay, let's go back to billboard. Okay, let's try something. So in the particle, I'm gonna... Okay, the size can stay. But I'm gonna go back to like 1 particle. Right. And I might change that a little bit. But... Actually, about the life... Okay. I don't know why the particles are being weird. Okay, let's restart everything. Okay, so we get one. Why is it adding more particles? Minimum. Okay, let's go here to emission. Oh, you know what? Let's use burst, maybe. Aha. So now we just do one particle and it stays there forever. Okay. Now we can start working on the actual shape. Okay, so we can add distortion to it, right? That doesn't look exactly like what I was thinking, but let's see if there's anything else. So this kind of could work. I want mostly distortion in a certain, like a directional distortion. This could be it. We can look at it. A little bit too. We could increase the scroll speed. Definitely not in that direction. Let's see if we can increase the Y scroll. Maybe we make the X scroll 0. Right. Okay. I'm gonna add some more things. So. Oh wow. As I add on top of this, it's gonna come together. 0.1. So just a slight distortion, maybe. 0.2. That's something. Okay. I wonder what could contrast do for me here. Okay. Just reset that. What about brightness? Okay, yeah, no. Reset that. Take it away. Okay, now we can add a glow effect. Yeah, I kind of want to... Is it a Fresnel that I want? Let's see. Don't know if it's gonna do what I want it to do. Maybe it's an alpha mask that I want. Ooh, yes, it's absolutely an alpha mask that I want. I want it to be inverted from that. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I have the glow now, which is okay, but I kind of want it a little bit inverted. I don't know. Ooh, this is actually pretty good. I think the alpha mask does help out a slight bit, but I kind of want the glow to be something else. Let's go see if I can't find a different type of... Ah, yes. I really hate that I have so many textures. You know what? Let's click on it and see. have here? Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ones here. Ooh. Okay, let's go here. Where's that alpha mask? Okay. Maybe one of these circles would look good. Uh-huh. Let's see, circle. Okay, we kinda need to see it on the screen, please. Okay, let's see. If I start clicking through these, what is it gonna do? Ah, well, that's pretty interesting. Not exactly what I want. But we could work with this. There exists a world where this works for me. Yeah, I want one that's less harsh. It seems like these are a bit much. Ooh, this doesn't look bad. Oh, I might have found it. Okay, mask power 0.5. It's interesting. Might not be perfect. Yeah, no, it's definitely not perfect. I need less at the bottom. That might be my texture that's just like that. What about we add a second texture? So we got this one. What if we added like this one as well? I can't really see it right now. I don't know. Are they both there? Yeah, let's copy shape 1 properties and then just select like that fire. I don't think it actually uses shape 2. Not in the way I'm thinking about it. Hey, Dianora. Hello. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's exactly what I needed. Oh, yes. Yes. Big D raid. Yo, that man Robin. Don't mind me, I'm just making a Super Saiyan chicken. This is looking like something. No, not that one. What does alpha remap do? Oh! Yes, this is such a flippin' nice piece of software that I'm actually using right now. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I think it needs to be bigger, hey? Yeah, this chicken can go Super Saiyan, but can't fly. It's unfortunate, right? It's Tournament of Power rules. Wonder how many get that reference. What am I using? This is all-in-one VFX toolkit. It's very cool. So it's quite legit. Okay, the sizing of the particles needs to be more consistent. Wait, let's just restart this. Why does it feel like I had... Okay, let's make them much bigger. Oh, for crying out loud. Why am I struggling like this? Oh wow, is the particle size bigger the further away I go? I did not realize that's how particles worked. Ooh, you know what we can do? Okay, let's actually look at our Super Saiyan effect from different angles, because I think it's going to be a little bit shit from certain angles. Like this. Yeah, okay, so I need to change the way it orientates itself. Oh, cheers, Dinora. No, you good, man. Run away. Run away. Okay, yeah, I think what I want to do here is the renderer, instead of it aligning with view, I need it to align with world or facing. I don't remember which one. I don't think world is exactly the one I want it to do. Okay, local, that looks terrible. So if that's world, then it would... Oh wow, why is it doing that? If I look at it from this angle, it becomes all white. That's a bit weird. Okay, let's pretend we are looking at our camera angle. This would be our camera angle, I suppose. Okay, so I see a couple of problems. First of all, let's move it to the center. Okay. Yeah, we just want one burst, so there should be one particle here at all times. Max particles 1. Okay. Let's see. What can we do? I feel like there should be a way to make it look at us. Well, it's not like the camera can rotate in the game, so that's probably not really required. I'm a little bit bummed about the fact that it doesn't look like it's enveloping him, right? Like, you can see it's just a plane on top of your character. And that's not great. I don't think I'm on that page, really. So if we move it a little. So if we did this, it at least seems like it's enveloping him a little bit. Right? And what we can do now, I guess, is... Okay, let's just reset these values. Okay, soft particle factor. Okay, reset. Let's not use that. Fade from a noise texture. Let's do an alpha mask. Okay, so this is what I was fiddling with before. But that looks terrible. We might have to change this a little bit. What else? What other alpha masks do we have that could work? I basically just want an inverted soft particle, I think. Okay, so it does get rid of it. Doesn't give me the option to invert this. So you know what? Let's go to our VFX toolkit and go to texture editor. Let's get a particle over here. Just something super basic. What are these things called? I should be having like a million of them. Let's see, glow, right? Glow typically is what I want. So if I can get a glow that I like, ring glow, maybe. You see, that doesn't really do it for me. I think this kind of glow would do it for me. Like glow 3 over here. Very soft, very gradual. Or maybe even glow 6. No. I want it more or maybe glow 1 is the one I want. Okay, we could take both. Let's see. So we want to do this one. The first thing we want to do is invert it, right? So something like this. And I think I'm just going to do that. Glow 11 or wait. And I'm just going to call it inverted and save it like that, right? And let's just go play with that one. So if I take the alpha mask and I look for inverted, I should get one. Yeah. Reloading domain because I selected a clip and texture. What are you talking about? Okay, that's a little bit of a hard hole in there. Yeah, maybe that was not the correct one. Oh, okay, I just had to reset that. Okay, so if I have an offset, so I can kind of get it to... this is a difficult one. I need to look at the camera without all the UI, preferably. How do I get rid of the UI? Okay, wait, that's not gonna work because the particles go away. What has happened? What? It lost all my material. Oh my word. Oh, that's shit. Yeah, they just all broke. Oh, that's very nice. Huh. Wait, can't we do... Let's see, main camera. We could do this, right? Don't know if the main camera is that zoomed out. Okay, let's work from this perspective. Let's keep this perspective because this is where it needs to look good. And we need to restart this whole damn process. Ah, for Pete's sake. Okay. Well, you guys get to come along with me and get this thing made again, I guess. Okay, so this is where we started. You start off with just that. Then you do a little bit of distortion. You get yourself a noise 16. Set the X to 0. The Y to 0.2. And I think... Was it 0.2? Maybe it was 1. This was 0.2. Yeah, I think that looks more like what I did. I can't remember if I did anything here, like with the glow. I mean, I could have added a orange glow. Not really sure. Glow intensity. Yeah, who knows. We can keep it there. Let's go see. Okay, so alpha mask is one of the ones I need. So we'll select our inverted mask. Again. Okay, now from this perspective, we need to give it a Y offset, I believe. Right, very small actually. 0.15. 1.3 maybe. And we can change the mask power if we feel like it's necessary. Something like that. So we can see through and watch our character, I guess. Okay, now we can also change the size of the particle. Wow, it's being very weird about that, isn't it? Why is it jumping around like that? So apparently the particle size changes the position. Don't know what's that about. Okay, but let's say we do something like this. Now we'll get there eventually. Shape speed. Oh. We don't want to shape speed. That's a bit weird. Okay. What we do want, maybe, is to see our effect. Hello. Okay, there's our effect. Now, we can also do things like, I think it's soft particles. Yeah, it is soft particles. It helps it interact with the environment a little bit. Okay. We can also change the fire texture to something else if we feel like it needs something else. I don't know. What would a texture like this look like? No, that's terrible. Okay, so the more low poly version. Yeah, no, this is definitely the one. Does it just disappear after 30 seconds? I guess so. I guess that's why it's a bit annoying to work with, because after 30 seconds it just disappears and it doesn't loop. Yeah. That is the problem. Okay, so let's say we want ascended scale over lives. Why would it ascend from there? That's terrible. Okay, none. This effect is so weird sometimes. Okay, oh, I moved the wrong one. Yipsy. Okay, so I guess I wanted to loop. Maybe? Infinite cycles, maybe. Oh, for Pete's sake, you're kidding me. Why is it offset like that now? Count one time interval. I don't know. Why do I keep having to change this damn thing? This is getting pretty stupid. Okay. So something like that. Now, what we could try... No way. You kidding me? Why is it popping around like that? Okay, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna give it a max lifetime, like 5 seconds. I want to see. Does it literally? Okay. Why does it move every time? Why is there shape a cone? Oh my word. I don't want a shape actually. I just switched off the shape entirely. Because that was the problem, right? There we go. I think it's better now. Yeah, and now if we wanted, you know, 2 particles. Ah. Okay, I'm just gonna remove that component because I think it's messing with me. Yeah, and we're gonna work with the normal one from now on. So we have infinite. Okay. Infinite cycles. Why does it keep going back? Seriously. Yo, Damon. What does hot as balls mean in your country? We might have different definitions, because I don't think. Oh, I don't know where you're from, right? There are other places that get very hot as well, so can't say that, can I? Okay, this looks stable now. I got fluff under my beard. Oh no. I'm so embarrassed. It's what? Oh, that's fine. The fluff can stay. Is it bothering you that much? You want me to get up right now and go remove the fluff? Okay, so now if we change the glow intensity, actually, what does that look like? Might be a bit much. Even if we change the Y, yeah, I feel like the glow intensity can be more. Might just have to move this thing 0.1, 0.11. Okay, we'll work with that. And now I just need to fix this stupid thing. Because apparently it lost its particle. Oh yeah, which particle was this actually? It wasn't one of those. It was a cool looking particle, like a low poly particle. I can't remember what it was called. Circle Tex. This one. Okay. I feel like they are too slow, right? No, for sure. If you're doing Super Saiyan, the particles need to be flying off you. Now it feels like there's not enough of them. Now it feels like they shouldn't be growing. And then now it feels like there's a couple of problems here. Maybe. Let's see here. They might be a little bit too glowy. Maybe that's the problem. There might also just be too many of them. That's definitely possible. We could do additive here on the material. They might just be too big, actually. It's also possible, hey. 0.5 to 0.8. And maybe we change the shape a little bit. So it's a cone. Maybe we make the radius bigger. Yeah. Can we visualize this cone maybe? We sure can. So I want that bigger. I want this smaller maybe. And then I think I want this effect offset. How do I do that? Shape, move, position in the Z. Something like that. Oh yeah, now we're cooking. Okay. See how this looks. Just look at my cam feed. I can see it. You reckon? Okay. Huh. Okay. Damon, do you feel better now? Whoops, I went to the wrong screen. Okay, I feel like this looks pretty good. Let's save the materials before they flip and go away. Like they did previously. Okay, okay. Okay, now we need to put these... Okay, so let's see. So the glow effect... Need to apply all of this stuff. Yeah, let's grab all of those. Apply selected to prefab variant, right? A change in this script. Shouldn't be any differences. Okay, but now if I go one deeper, the glow effect exists. Fantastic. And it should exist for any character now. And nothing. Okay, you know what? Let's take a quick break. Oh, yes. Ah, damn. Take a quick break, go get something to drink, and then we can see what this effect looks like on all my characters. Shall we? I think so. I think that's a good idea. Okay, let me just find OBS again. And do this. Not that one. Okay, be right back. I have returned. Let's go test this, shall we? So, let's see what it looks like on all the characters. Give it a play, and we'll just cycle through the characters and watch them all go Super Saiyan, you know? It's going to be a little underwhelming because they're not going to have the pointy hair and things like that, but, you know. Okay. When all the... Okay, there's a problem. Ah, jeez. The particles are also rotating around, so that's not any good. Yeah, if you're standing still, it's really not that bad, but yeah, anything else... Okay, that's a bit weird. This is not quite what I was having in mind. Okay, let's see the duck. Yeah, similar problem, right? Chicken. That's bizarre. Yeah, so if you walk up, it's fine. If you walk down, it's less fine. Huh. This is weird. You think so? Okay, let's do this. So, oh, actually, yeah, let's do this. I want to see what happens. Okay, maybe we need to tweak this effect a little bit, right? Let's go tweak. I was trying something, right? The fiery effect's not terrible, but it's also not amazing either. So let's see. How else can we get this kind of effect going? So first of all, I think we're gonna change the renderer back to view aligned. Might be the first thing I have to do. Or what happens if it's locally aligned? Okay, so locally aligned is a funny one. What does that actually look like when you play the game? Obviously, it's incorrect right now. Right, that's clearly not correct. I just want to kind of see what it does when I walk around. Oh, okay. Very good. What's with the null reference exceptions? What? Oh, it's because I switched off my UI. That's right. I remember now. Okay, so this one's a little bit weird, but it does at least follow your player. It looks in the direction that I face, which is weird, but could be useful. Maybe. If we can get the effect to, you know, look better in general, that might work out. Okay, so let's get a character in here. Okay, so that's terrible. Okay, let's see what some of our settings do here. So if I flip it, okay, that's literally just flipping it like that. Okay, what about the Y? Okay, so that might be the first thing I need to do is flip it on the Y. Okay, and if I flip it on the Z, I don't think I'll see anything. Yeah. Okay, so it's now locally aligned. What does facing do exactly? I actually don't know what facing would do. I'm learning something here. New cosmetic hat. Let's see. Okay, facing does very much the same thing, it seems. Okay. Oh wait, I only changed it for... Ah, okay. I only changed it for the chicken. I didn't change it for all of them. Because I'm dumb. Okay, let's go back and let's look at the chicken instead. Because I wasn't applying... I wasn't applying my settings to my prefab variant. My base prefab. Okay, so we grab the chicken. Okay, so it's similar to what... Huh. Yeah, it's very similar to... Okay, I have a plan. I just had an idea. Okay, watch this. Okay, what if we just... I'm gonna switch that one off for now. I'm gonna go look in my toolkit, or whatever, for some demo stuff. And let's see if there's not something that we could maybe fiddle with. Yeah, like there's this aura, maybe that something. Okay. What? Yeah, we don't need the evil capsule. Okay, wait, let's put the evil capsule back. And then we can see what's happening here with our positioning. Okay. Okay. So we rotate it. Let's rotato this potato. Like that. I was thinking about this, so let's see. So if I had him there. What does that look like? Obviously, it's an evil aura at the moment, but we can fiddle with it, right? Yeah. Oh, this is actually just a material on a quad. Okay, that's interesting. Now, what about the other ones? This is a material on a bullet shape? Ah, interesting. This is just a little glow effect. Oh, okay, it's one of those glow effects. Uh-huh. Very interesting, very interesting. Orb sparks. Okay. Maybe they're onto something here. Yeah, if I just change the color palette to like a yellow. I recolor that particle system. This aura. Let's see. Change colored palette to yellow again. Okay. Now these ones, this is a bit different. So we have these materials. Okay, they have an editable gradient, I see. Aha. Okay. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, I don't want to break this, so let's put in our VFX thing here. And then let's create a new material with the same properties. Yeah. Yo! I got a follow. Y Lantern, thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's save this material. So this is going to be Aura 2. Okay, let's go to this one and let's add the same thingy here. And then we say save. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Whoopsie. Let's try this again. Ugh. Okay. Thanks, Y Lantern. Have a good night. Okay, let's see. So we first want to create a new material. Then save it so I don't accidentally, override something. Okay, now we can start fiddling with this. So we can obviously now do what we feel like. Oh, interesting. It doesn't. What? Am I? Where's my colors gone? Yeah, actually, what the hell? Where is the color? Okay, let's start with the base. Okay, color effects, color ramp, use color gradient. Okay, so let's just do something very basic and make it like gold to, you know, maybe a brighter yellow, something like that. Okay, and I think I can just then go through the rest and apply that same color gradient, right? Because I have the preset now. Ugh, that's so flippin' useful. What? I also need Aura 3 still. Okay. I'll just go through here and click on this. Damn! Look at all my... I'm such a glowy boy. Oh, apparently... Oh, this wasn't a material. Necessarily, okay. It was just... Okay, okay. Okay, so the aura is... definitely a thing now. I guess we rename this to attack. Well, super bird. It is our super bird aura. Now we'll see what this looks like. Okay, yeah, these colors are now not that great. So let's do color gradient maybe. And let's apply that preset. Very nice. Okay, and maybe the glow is not lacquer here. I don't know. So that's okay. Oh, I actually don't change the color. Ah, who knows? You know what? Maybe we don't use that one. Maybe just use the Superbird Sparks. Alright, hear me out here. Hear me out. What if we just made them live longer? What if we just quadruple this to 1.2 and 3? Then they'll... Wow! Okay, well, let's see what this looks like, right? Let's give it a good old-fashioned testeroonie. Let's see. Damn. Okay, it's because I need to... Oh, that's interesting. Whoops. I need to disable the night here. I forget. If I keep him in the game, then that happens. Okay, let's try that again. Making particle systems is hard. That looks pretty good. Might be able to live with that. Right, so the idea would be that when the ranger casts her, attack speed buff on you, you get to go Super Saiyan and you attack super fast. So this is your normal attack speed, and then sometimes she'll Right, you go absolutely crazy. And then in some cases, you might actually have both the ranger and the chicken buff you. Okay, I kind of like this effect. I think it looks good. Gives you that idea of you're now doing a massive flurry of attacks, right? It's nice, fast, and frantic. Okay, I might want to have it scale as well, but first of all, we need to apply these to all the other characters. So, yeah, all of these things. Yeah, I want to apply them to the parents so that all my birds look the same. Okay, good. Okay, so now Superbird is active for all the birds when it happens. Right? We can't go Super Saiyan, we are birds, after all. Okay, I like that idea. Okay, now we just need to have it stop and play and things like that. I actually don't quite know. Oh. Oh, I see. Okay, let's work with it, right? So maybe we want to do particles play on awake, right? I think so. I think we do play on awake for all of these. We don't actually need this one anymore. Yeah, whatever, we'll make it work. Okay, so add feedback. Essentially what we want is like a game object set active type of things, right? Some things we set active and some particles we play. Though I don't think so. Yeah, I think we can remove that one. Okay, and the game object we want to set active would be the glow. Don't really know what the states need to be, but anyway. So we'll set it active after the holding and the particles and all the other good stuff happened, right? Okay. So this particle effect would be the level up effect, I would say. No, it's the experience gain one, right? Yeah. Yeah, so actually we could use a very similar approach. Yeah, actually, let's copy. I'm gonna copy both of these. Yeah, you know what? Let's do this. So inside our glow effect, what we actually want here is Superbird. Okay. Okay, and then right here we want to play a particle, the level up. Yeah, so we want to play the level up. No, wait. We want to do the experience gain one. Sorry. Yeah, experience gain needs to go there. Okay, so we do experience gain. Then we hold. Then along with this one, we also still do a quick play of a particle system, right? I think so. And they'll play at the same time, and that would be the level up one. The big bush. Yeah, I think so. Okay. And Superbird will remain active for a while. Don't know exactly how long. We could have it work from here, so we could do not destroy. I kind of want to do a deactivate, or well, I guess it's another set active, right? So this would be set active true, and then I want to set active false. Yeah, so active, and then here we want to do the Superbird effect, but not active, right? No. The feedback should be active. Wait a minute. Okay, state on play. Okay, inactive. I think this is how it works. So we set it active, and then we set it inactive. Then we might have to add a pause. I guess it could be a holding pause. And the idea would be the holding pause duration could be changed. So this is, we'll change the name for this one. This is going to be the, like the buff duration. Wow. Why is it trying to do that? Okay, so we have a holding pause called buff duration. So the idea would be we initialize, okay, so we play the MMF player. This thing would be inactive at the start. As soon as become active, it will play on awake, I hope, yeah. Yeah, and all those things will be shown. It plays on awake, that's good. So let's go through this. So we set active, we play, we can do the particles first, doesn't really matter. Then we wait until we deactivate it. So we need to set the holding pause based on the duration. Oh wait, this is a difficult one actually. We need to do this in code because there are too many things that determine the length of the yeah. It would be kind of cool. Okay, so let's remove these ones. So we can set them active, so we can at least have the initial play work well. Okay, so if I think about this, right, most of it's gonna look kind of the same. Yeah, see, how do they set this up? I think it's with the gradient, probably. They got that to look that good. Okay, but what I'm thinking is we should maybe like get the aura or the sparks to become more frantic based on your power level. Right? Right? I mean, yeah, I think so. So we could do something like, actually, what happens when I increase the lifetime for this thing? Do they get higher up? Okay, they do go higher up. Okay, let's just undo that. What about the speed? Velocity over lifetime. So let's see, they start at 0.5 and they get slower. We could change the speed modifier as well. I'm just thinking of ways to make it look cooler, right? So we could say that the speed modifier gets changed as you gain more strength. Rogue Steph, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, so we could do that. What does radial do? It does something like that. Okay. Yeah, so we could do something to this extent, where we make the velocity increase so that it goes a bit higher, and we could even make the emission rate increase, I guess. So that's another thing we could do. We could just change the simulation speed, maybe. Nah, that doesn't really have the effect. Yeah. Yeah, but I think making the velocity faster and maybe emission rate faster would be good there. And we could do a similar thing here, but let's say with lifetime. And I guess emission as well. Right, if as you gain more power, this number goes from like 15, which is just the base, let's say, and then now you get twice as powerful or 4 times as powerful. Like, it really gets a little frantic, right? I think that'll be cool. Okay, so we'll have to figure out a way to expose all those things and set them every time the buff gets applied and whenever something changes with your status effect, right? I think so. Okay, but the idea is there. We just have to figure out how to implement this. Okay, so starting the... Yeah, because if you remember, this is kind of what we want. Okay, let's just get rid of all this and recolor it in black, and then we can draw it again. So this is kind of the idea, right? You have your timeline. So let's say you get your buff all at once. Now, there's a couple of things that can happen here. You can have all your birds have the same strength. So then this is what's going to happen. But if you have multiple robins buffing your character, the strength can go up and then go down in like a staircase, where this last step represents the strongest buff, right? It's the buff that has the longest duration. And it could be a higher strength value as well, right? I didn't draw it that way. But this is kind of how the stacking works. So you always have a big spike in power, right, at the start. And then, depending on the effectiveness of the passive, it drops off over time. And it'd be kind of cool is if every drop-off is visually shown by a reduction in particles. Right, and we could even say, yeah, we can have like thresholds in code. I think that's an easy way to do it. And then based on the threshold, we have the amount of particles that is shown. And if you drop through a threshold or you go above one, you get more particles, etc. I think that's a good idea. So implementing this is going to take a bit, but let's go for it. Right. Yes, I haven't coded today. Almost at all. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so we have the Ranger passive ability. So this just applies the buff. That's okay. But we also wanted to apply not just a buff, but a effect, status effect. Yeah, and this is kind of where it gets funny, because the status effect now would have a few things happening, but yeah, we need to apply the status effect, and fortunately there are events that we can then plug into to do all the staging and stuff like that if we want to. Okay, so let's do that. Let's use this status effect thing. And essentially, we apply a character status effect exactly the same way, because it was based on the same thing. So let's see. So when the passive ability goes, we need to get the status effect as well. Okay, so what I think we should do is maybe get a game object once, and then we can do all the things we want to do. So we go player manager instance get selected character, right? It returns a game object, Bob's your uncle. From there, we can do, instead of all this nonsense, we could just do character dot get component, right? And we could just get the character buff component and apply the buff. So we don't need this necessarily. And so we get the character, we apply the buff, and what we can also do is do character dot get component character status effects. All right. Apply status effect. Okay, now we need a status effect name. No, we don't have one actually. Where's this character status effect? So this would just be the Ranger passive, I guess. Okay, and so over here we do character status effect Ranger passive as the type, and we give it a strength and duration. Right, basically the same thing. Now the strength is already going to be a percentage, which is okay, right? We'll work with it. But we have a strength, we have a duration. They should all add together, and the whole step thing should be happening. Okay, now from here, that's fine to apply the status effect. Now we actually have to make it do something. It's a little bit of a different story. Okay. Okay, so right here, Ranger passive effect, I think we'll need so if we just look at the night passive effect, what I did was I got this character's status effects, right? Which effectively I'll need the same thing, and on enable we'll do status effects dot on status effect change plus equals. So we need to do that, and then on disable we need to do status effects dot on status effect change minus, right? Okay, and then all we have to do here for starts is if e dot name equals the Ranger passive, because remember there are other passives, and if it's not the Ranger passive, we don't want the passive effect to do anything, right? So if it's a Ranger passive, and if e dot duration, if e dot duration is greater than 0, Why is that important? Because we might want two different things to happen based on the duration amount, right? So we could get a... sometimes we might get an event when a new passive was applied, and sometimes we get an event when it falls off. So obviously when it falls off, duration would be 0. When it gets applied, duration is obviously greater than 0, right? Okay, but let's suppose... Okay, so we got the... We were notified that the status effect has changed. Now, I think what I want to do is I want to have a float, something like total strength, right? And every time we get an application of one, I want to do total strength plus equal, and be careful, E dot strength, right? At least that's something we should do. And so that we know at what level we are currently at, right? And if our duration is less than or equal to 0, we want to subtract the amount of strength, right? So every time something changes, whether it's added or subtracted, we are either going to add to our total strength of the effect or reduce the total strength of the effect. All right? That makes sense. Because we get the strength. Now we could do... We don't need to do this here. What we could do as well, because of the way the status effects work, is I can go to the status effect and just get the total strength. That's a quick for each, but I feel like it's very straightforward to just keep track of the strength where I need it, right? If I want to know how much strength, what my total strength actually is, I guess I can come ask, but I don't really need to know. Yeah, this seems like a way more convoluted way of getting my strength every time it changes, right? Yeah, I could just very straightforwardly keep track of it here. It's really straightforward, actually. Based on especially since I'm sending the strength value with the events. Actually, you know what? What is the strength value sent by the event? Now, that's a good question. Let's check that. Status effect. It actually gets status effect strength. So it calls this. It gives you the total. It doesn't give you the one that was just added or removed. How do I feel about that? I feel like I don't like that exactly. So, what if we did strength differently? What if we just did strength as the actual status effect strength? Right, so what this means is it'll get the status effect, see its duration run out. It still has the status effect. It wants to remove it, but we still have the status effect, right? And that specific stack will have a strength value. So we could just get the strength value and return that instead. And I feel like I'm more interested in knowing what the change was of the specific stack and not the total strength in this case. Because I'm getting the specific stack duration and I'm getting the specific stack strength. And then I can decide what I want to do with those down the line, right? Yeah, I think that makes more sense. Alright, so what I want to do with them is I want to check the duration and add or remove strength, depending on the duration. Okay, so that's one thing we do. Now we need to be careful about when we trigger. Yeah, this is a very important one. when do we trigger our effect to happen? Because, okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to have the passive effect applied, but it's going to be applied multiple times, right? There will be more than one application. So I feel like my total strength will go up, even though it's going to, this is what I draw every time, right? But technically what's going to happen is it's going to do this up and then down as well. Now, why does this happen? Well, it's because there's going to be a frame potentially. So this might be a few split seconds or one frame or something like that between these. So I want to make sure that all of the stepping up of the strength happened, and then over here I want to do call or you know, activate the particle, so to speak, right? So we just need to make sure that we can do that. So strength will be added to 3 times in a row, right? Because this is gonna happen. If we look at status effects, applying the status effects will happen with the passive ability. So right here, we're going to apply it, but buff attack speed is called in this loop. So it might happen up to 4 times based on the amount of ranges I actually have. Right, so either I need to keep a count of the ranges and make sure that the total strength, the call only happens after I've received 3. Let's say if I have 3, if I received 3 calls, yeah, that's a bit of a tricky one, right? Because also the ranges might move around as well. So the way I want to approach this maybe is with a simple boolean or something like that, and maybe even an update loop. So we can do private boolean. Okay, all buffs, or let's say can apply effect, right? Something like that. I don't know. So here's my idea. So we could say that if we get e dot duration, so if we get one of these, we can say can apply effects equal to true. And then we can also have a private float. And this is maybe unnecessary, like, but right, apply effect timer. And we could simply do if can apply effects. We do apply effect timer minus equal time dot delta time if it's less than 0, like this good old-fashioned thing that I like building all the time. Right, we literally have to wait one update. We could do it co-routine as well if we wanted. But this makes sense to me. So on the first call, we say, okay, can apply effect is true. That's fine. But once it's set to true, we kind of have to wait 0.1 seconds. And that should allow all the other ones to finish their thing as well. And the total strength value to be correct, right? And then once the apply effect timer is ended, so it's less than 0, then we can do the call we want. And then we do can apply effect equals false, right? So we just set it to false until we get another cost, so to speak. Right. Okay, and here we can do a private void apply effects, something like that, and then private void reduce effect strength. Something like that, right? Those two. So we can do apply passive effect over there, and over here we can do reduce effect strength. Okay, now if that's not spelled correctly, string. Okay. Yeah, that's reduce effect strength. Okay. Those are the two things we're gonna need. Now we got some interesting timers and stuff like that going here. So every time reduce effect strength is called, we're gonna do it over here and apply effect strength. This one is gonna play our MMF thingies, right? Okay. So let's steal from the Knight passive effect because yeah, so we just need our MMF player essentially. Okay, when we apply, we do MMF player. I don't know, play feedbacks. I think that's how you do it. I can't remember how you call this. Okay, obviously we can get separate things if we want to change them. Yeah, play feedbacks. Now, before we play the feedbacks, we should change everything we want to change. Alright, so this is where it gets a bit weird because we want to change the particle counts and stuff like that. But maybe not right now. Let's do change particle effects based on strength. Right, and here we want to do the same thing. Okay, so we're going to definitely need the particle effects at some point, but what we can do here is we can just do if our total strength is less than or equal to 0. Right, that means we've now ran out of juice, so to speak. So once we've ran out of juice, I guess we just we switch off the particle effect. Right, so we need to get our super bird effect. So we're just going to private game object super bird effect. Okay, so once this happens, super bird effect dot can I just do game object dot set no, super bird effect dot set active false. Right, something like that. We just switch off the super bird effect here. Playing the feedbacks would switch it on, and then switching it off once our strength runs out. Okay, now this is not going to. We'll keep this. This is going to be true everywhere, every time. But we'll also put in thresholds and stuff to check what our total strength is. So we'll do a little bit of a switch case statement to make the amount of particles fluctuate. Yeah, I guess we could get the particle effects as well, right? While we're here. So we want a particle system. Okay, this is gonna be, there's gonna be 2 of them, right? Yes. So the first one is the light columns. Okay, and the other one is our spiral lights. I don't know what to call them, but they are the... Oh, that's the sparks, right? The spiral sparks. There was a name for these things, I'm pretty sure. Ah, it's okay, okay. It's fine. It's good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. Okay, let's just make sure everything is saved so that Unity can do a good old compile. I don't like that. Are we doing that, Unity? Audio source, we'll switch that one off. We don't have an audio source right now. Okay, so let's see. So all of this stuff should kind of work. Maybe. Okay, so we want the Ranger passive effect over here. Alright, what does it need? It needs a reference to the status effect. Yeah, we can just get that from the character straight like that. Okay, then it needs the MMF player. I think that's just coming from here. It needs the super bird effect. That comes from there. I'm pretty sure there were more things that I requested. Yeah, well, why didn't these ones show up? The 2 particle systems. That's weird. I'm gonna guess it didn't compile proper. Okay, let's try it again. There we go. Okay, so now we can get the light columns, which are these, and the evil sparks, which are those. Don't know why they're called evil sparks, but whatever. Okay, let's just make sure we click on the right thing and lock it. So sparks go there and aura goes there. Now, I'm not actually sure how to access anything. Yeah, like if I do light columns, How do we get all the particle system stuff, right? Let's see, what can we get here? Alright, these are just the curves. David, what are you on about? Now your name is Paul. Mao Estrades. Isn't that the guy from, or one of the guys from that movie with all the sand? Might have triggered some people just now. What's it called? Dune. Yes, I knew it had something to do with sand. Dunes are made out of sand, eh? You know that. Okay. So do we get emitter velocity? Okay, this is gonna be a whole thing. You know what would be easier if we don't change that necessarily, but we just get the what is this called? If you velocity over lifetime, we just get speed modifier. Right? What would that be like? I wonder how intuitive this stuff is. So if I do light columns dot speed modifier. Playback speed, rotation size, start speed. What if I do velocity over lifetime dot speed modifier? Okay, that's actually quite intuitive. Equals 1. Apparently it doesn't like that. Okay, var speed equals and speed equals 1. That is just a reference, right? So it's the same thing. It's weird how it does that sometimes. It is a get set, so yeah, that's weird. It's weird. Okay, I'm not gonna fiddle with that right now. Let's just play the game and see if it even plays the anything. Because you know, nothing could work, and so that's also a possibility. Let's just see if this works. Then we can obviously fiddle with the speed values and stuff like that forever, right? Give it a good old play. Okay, so the particles are there from the start. Okay, that might be a problem as well. Yeah, I should have changed that a little bit, I guess. Anybody gonna... Oh, wait, I forgot to switch it on. Damn it, man. Okay, it went away. I want to see it come back. It's pretty cool. I mean, it's not the greatest thing in the world. It would kind of be cool if it also faded away and not just disappeared. But I kind of like what it's doing. So it's like you can see all the particles coming in. You are powering up. Bam! You're a Super Saiyan. Okay, that's pretty nice. I think I can live with this effect. Obviously, endless tweaking still needs to happen, but we'll get there. I wonder what the hell the duck's gonna do, actually. Everybody is cooler than the duck is at this moment, but yeah, we'll see. Did we just get a double buff here? Ah, we lost our buff. So let's go hit something. Oh, look how slow I am. Go Super Saiyan. Yeah! I might want to delay the attack speed boost, to be honest. A little bit, right? Maybe. It's quite a long boost, eh? Okay, that's pretty good. I think I'm gonna... this is some sort of dev mode, yes. What are you on about, man? You know what this is. You've been here since the start. You saw me make the dev mode. Very good. Let's do that. Oh yeah, I forgot the volume is still a bit off. I should fix that. I should also fix the effects with the attacks. I feel like I could do a better job now. I feel like I've learned a few things over the years I've been deving this game, and by years I mean weeks, months, maybe. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna call it there. Got to get to work. Thanks for joining me today. I will see you guys next time. Let's see if there's anybody. Game over. That's right. It is the end. Unfortunately. Yeah, well, cheers, guys. Have a good day.